welcome to Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. We're delighted to celebrate Shabbat with you this evening, and I'll say to you, Cantor Ruth, Chametz Tov.
Yes!
You know what I had for dinner tonight?
What?
Bread.
We had ravioli.
I
had
forgot
raviolis.
everything else after that. I know there was other things, but after the bread, I was fine. So we're delighted that you're joining us here this evening. We are going to welcome in Shabbat, starting with a song about the angels that accompany us into this holy, quiet, restful time. And that starts on page 13 of this book, and the song is Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem LaShalom, Malachei Yashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachei Yashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzechem LaShalom, Malachei Yashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Starting to get dark later and later. We can now light the candles and bless them in the same service. This is fantastic. Please join us as we welcome in Shabbat with the light of the candles.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik nera shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue welcoming Shabbat with song, with our first psalm of Kabbalat Shabbat. The psalm is Psalm number 95. You can find it in our Siddur on page 15, Lechu Neranana.
Lechu Neranana l'Adonai Nari Nekadem afanav betoda bizmirat nari alo ki el gadol Adonai umelech Adonai 40 שנה עקודו אדום ואומר המטועי לבבם והם לא ידעו אשר נשבעתי ואפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי.
Page 16, page 16.
היי אליי 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 היי אליי 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 היי אליי 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 היי אליי שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני מלכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו וכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד דור ההוא על כל אלוהים יין עלי אלי היי עלי אלי היי עלי אלי היי עלי אלי היי עלי
We continue with Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, come my beloved, as we welcome the Shabbat into our lives, into our hearts, and let everything else go for a little while. Lecha Dodi begins on page 21, page 21.
Shabbat nekamelha lecha dodi likrat kala yaralai yaralai pnei Shabbat nekamelha shabor vezachor בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לקראת שבת לכו ונחם כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה אוי לך דודי לקראת קל ידלי 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 פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי ידלי 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 פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קומי צאי מתוך ההפכה רב לשבת בעמק הברכה והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך לי היד בן ישי בית הלחמי קורבה אל נפשי גאה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידלה 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 פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידלה 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 פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידלה 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 פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידלה ידלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לא תבושי ולא תקרבי מה תשכחי ומה תהי בך יחסו אני עמי ונבנתה עירתי לה והיו לבשיסה שעשייך ורחקו כל בבלייך יציץ עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן על קלה אליך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגיל עליך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה לך אדוני, לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבל עליך אדוני, לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבל
If you stood up for that one, you may be seated. We're going to continue on page 23. Page 23, we have Psalm 92, a special psalm just for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך, במעשה ידיך ארענן. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך
We're going to begin our evening prayers around the Shema, starting with our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, which is on page 28. Page 28. Wherever you are, please rise and join us for the Baruch Hu.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai HaMvorach le'olam va'ed.
ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך
ומפני חושך החושך מפני אור.
ומעביר יום ומעביר לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו.
אמרי ורבי.
Amen. We continue with the next blessing, which reminds us of the constancy of God's love. Ahavat Olam on page 29. Page 29.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו, ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה, נהגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue the second passage of the Shema at your own pace, and we'll get back together in just a moment. Let's join together for the third passage of the Shema. If you're in the Siddur, it's on the top of page 31, page 31. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem, v'asu lehem tzitzit, al kanfei bigdehem ledorotam, v'nanu al tzitzit hakanaf, betil techelet, v'haya lechem letzitzit, uritem oto, Uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, ve'lo taturu, acharei levavchem, ve'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achareichem, leman tizkaru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim leloheichem, ani Adonai Eloheichem, Asher chotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohim, ani
Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem emet. Continue on page 32, page 32. Emet v'emunah kol zeh v'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu.
Let's join together in the middle of the page with Mi Chamocha.
Mi kamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. Mi kamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקר הים לפני משה ומרים. זה לי, אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Baruch Shemo.
גל ישראל.
Amen. Page 33, page 33. We continue with Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, יחמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, יחמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור את צאתנו, הואינו לחיים ולשלום, השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו שלום 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 ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
We continue with the passage from Sefer Shemot, the book of Exodus, which is in your Siddur on page 34, but you might know it as a song that sounds like this.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. אוי 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 ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה
Amen.
מעלמד יברח כאילו וימליך מלכותה וחייכון יומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו
Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולם לעולמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה וימרו.
Amen. Please rise for the Amidah, the private meditation for Shabbat evening, which begins on page 35b. 35b.
עולם חסד ייבנה, יאללה לילה, לילה, לילה. עולם חסד ייבנה, יאללה לילה, לילה, יאללה. עולם חסד ייבנה, יאללה לילה, לילה, לילה. עולם חסד ייבנה, יאללה לילה, לילה, לילה. I will build this world from love. Yalla la, and you will build this world from love. Yalla la, and if we build this world from love, then maybe God will build this world from love. עולם חסד ייבנה, יאללה לילה, לילה, לילה. עולם חסד ייבנה, יאללה לילה, יאללה לילה, לילה.
We conclude this part of the service with the Kaddish Shalem on page 48.
יתקלל ויתקדש שמר רבה,
Amen.
וילמד וירחרת וימליך מלכותה, וחי יכונו ומכונו חי כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו.
Amen.
יהי
Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Leolam Olam Me'amaya, Yitbarach.
יתמרח וישתבח ויתפאר ודרום ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ותעלה שמי דקודשה.
Brichu.
לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמת אדם מירם ועלמה וימרו.
Amen.
תתקבל צלעות ולמותן לכל ישראל קודם אבוהון דבישמעיה וימרו.
Amen.
יהי שלמה משמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו.
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל וימרו.
Amen. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for
Shabbat
joining us once again at Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center. Wherever you are coming from, you are absolutely welcome to join us in prayer, join us in singing. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you've been shy about singing with us, who'll know? Just belt it out in your living room. Maybe pretend you're in the shower, or don't take a shower while you're live streaming. That could electrocute you. But we'd be delighted if you would share your voice wherever you are. And if you don't have a prayer book, we do have some prayer books. Let us know. We'll make sure that you can follow along with the home version as well. What I want to do is share what is perhaps my least favorite story in the entire Torah. And as I've said this, you probably heard me say this before. Before I ever studied Torah, I was already a dad. I kind of came to studying Torah a little bit later in life. I already had a couple of kids, and we all sort of project our own lives onto God. as it were. I mean, people see God as a nurturing figure. People see God as a father figure, as a mother figure, as an absent figure. It really depends on your context. I've always, I'll confess, embraced the fatherhood aspects of Torah because that's my context, and I don't want to project it on anybody else, but that's who I am when I read these stories. And that's why my all-time least favorite story in the entire Torah is in this week's Parsha. And no, I'm not talking about the kashrut section, although that's in there too. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. What hurts my heart every single time, I'm going to try not to get emotional here, but this is live, so who knows. What hurts my heart every time we read through Leviticus is when we get to the third Parsha, and that's Parshat Shmini. Shmini means eighth, because it's the eighth day after they begin consecrating the holy place. I mean, we've had, throughout Exodus, we've had this tent under construction, but then it needs to go from a tent to a sanctuary, right? It's like the difference between, you know, something that used to be a shoe store, but you rented the space and you made it into a synagogue. This wasn't a shoe store, don't quote me on that, but something that changes it, that takes it from mundane to holy. And then once they do that, on the eighth day, it's time, they do that for 7 days. On the eighth day, it's time to go to work. And on the very first day of work for this whole new caste of priests, 2 of them die because something goes wrong. And we're left to puzzle whether they did it wrong on purpose, they did it wrong by accident. I'm talking about Nadav and Avihu, the 2 sons of Aaron, this very first inaugural high priest. And they bring an Eish Zarah, they bring a strange fire, and they die because of this. Did it happen because they got cocky and they said, hey, we know this holiness stuff, we'll do it our own way? Did it happen because they were drunk? There's a passage right after this story that says, oh, by the way, don't ever drink right before you go to work at the temple. And so some rabbis and others have taken this to mean that maybe they didn't know the rules there and they weren't in their right minds. But what always gets me is after this is silent, Moses says to his brother Aaron, the father of the 2 boys who got killed, something to the effect of, that's how holiness works. And the response, and this is in chapter 10, verse 3, Vayidom Aharon, Aaron was silent. What do you say to that? Sometimes the best thing to say is nothing. But Moses knew where he was. He said, this is the first day of this particular relationship with the Holy One, who was mad at us to begin with for the whole golden cow thing. This was supposed to fix it. So we need to, for the sake of this relationship, for the sake of all the people who are watching, we need to carry on. That's the heavy yoke of leadership. Moses says to Eleazar and Itamar, the other 2 sons of Aaron, do not bare your heads and do not tear your clothing, lest you die and anger strike the whole community. And when he says don't cut your hair and don't tear your clothes, what is this? This is Kriya. This is how people mourn. He says, keep your game face on. Keep in it. Be a professional. Everyone is watching. This is the challenge of leadership. And he says, don't worry. These deaths will not go unmourned. He says, but your kinsmen, all the house of Israel, shall bewail the burning that the Lord has wrought. And so, they will mourn, but you Don't go outside the entrance of the tent of meeting. Do not show them your tears, lest you die. For the anointing oil is upon you. And, I'll add surprisingly, they did as Moses had bidden. They carried on with their work that very day. They did as Moses had bidden. Sort of. They followed Moses' next instruction, which was a series of sacrifices and offers and things like that. And he says, okay, you sacrifice this over here, you eat it over there. Remember, people are watching. You need to keep with the plan. You need to carry on no matter how your heart is breaking. And they did the sacrifice. And Moses says, now, you're Kohanim, you're priests, right? This is part of this arrangement. Because you have set yourself apart from the community and leadership, you don't get to farm. You don't get to run your own business. The only way you eat is sitting down and eating at the time of offering. And Moses noticed that Eleazar and Ithamar were not eating. It says in verse 16 of chapter 10, then Moses inquired about the goat of purification offering, and it had already been burned. He was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's remaining sons, and said, why did you not eat the offering in the sacred area? For it is most holy, and God has given it to you in order to remove the guilt of this community and make expiation for the Lord. It's not just lunch, right? This is part of how you cleanse your people. This is part of how you take care of them. Why aren't you eating? And Aharon, who to this point, again, v'yidom, he'd been silent. He takes his brother aside and says, see, this day they brought their purification offering and their burnt offering before the Lord, even though such things have befallen me. They did what you asked them to do. Maybe they're not hungry. By the way, Aaron says, had I eaten a purification offering today, would the Lord have approved? And when Moses heard this, he assented, nodded his head. He says, I get it. And Rashi picks this up a couple thousand years later, and he says, here's what's going on here, in case you didn't know this. Aaron and Moses and all the leaders and the prophets, of course, they were great students of Talmud. Even though the Talmud hadn't been written yet, they had Nevuah, they knew Jewish law, even when it wasn't explicitly written in the Torah. And what Aaron was saying to his brother was, what about the mourner whose dead lies before him? This is in the Mishnah, I believe early in the second Brachot, when it's talking about who's responsible for praying and who's not. When somebody in your life close to you passes away, up until the time of burial, you are exempt. In fact, you are forbidden from participating in prayer. Because God knows and understands that your heart is not there. That is human. That is right. And so God gives you a pass. Moses, do you think you could give the kids a break today? And Moses got it. And Rashi said in that moment he admitted that he was wrong, which is not an easy thing for somebody with Moses' responsibilities to do. The lesson that I draw from this story this year Because usually I get stuck at the Aaron is silent part and then I skip to the kashrut. I can't take the rest of it. So for the first time, I noticed this whole dinner conversation. Yes, there are people who are responsible for us. You may be one of those people. And yes, you have to carry on because we're counting on you. But what I want to challenge myself and everyone else to do is be gentle with each other and be gentle with yourself. We all have holy work yet to do. Whether that's taking care of people who are sick, whether that's running essential industries, whether that's figuring out how to make do. If you're one of, let's say, I heard today approximately a third of working Angelenos who have lost their job in the last month. You still have the holy work to find a way to stay home, to stay safe, and to meet the needs of your family and friends. We all have work to do. At the same time, every one of us is in mourning. Whether it's mourning for a person, a career, a vacation you've been planning for months. Something has been lost. You get to mourn. So when you get frustrated with the people you count on to carry on, just remember, be gentle. If you do, you have my word that I will be gentle in return. And I thank God for this weekly scheduled time of gentleness. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with our prayer service in just a moment. Before we say Aleinu, because of the season that we're in, we are now counting the Omer. We started this last, was it Friday night, Thursday night? It was Thursday night, I think. We're counting the Omer.
Yes.
So last Shabbat was the second day, which makes
Correct.
tonight the ninth day of Omer. And that can be found, if you want to follow along, we're going to count the ninth day of the Omer on page 55 in your Sim Shalom Siddur, or whatever Siddur you're using. Look for the section on counting the Omer, and we're going to count day number 9.
So let's read together in the middle of page 65. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer, as it is ordained in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the second day of Pesach, when an Omer of grain is to be brought as an offering, 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days. And we read together in the Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. We are on page 56. Yesterday was the 8th night. And we read together, Hayom tisha yamim shehem shavua echad u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today it is 9 days that are a week and 2 days of the Omer.
Amen. So with that, we continue with Aleinu on page 51. Page 51. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. על כן נקווה לך אדוני אלוהי דירות מלאה ותפארת. כי המלכות שלך היא, וללמיה תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב את תורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. This is a time in our service where we pause to remember with honor those who are no longer with us. In the coming week here at PJTC, we are marking the yahrzeit and the anniversary of the passing of Isaac Burston, Gordon Brightman, Benno Frankel, Lena Goldberg, Barnett Freckman, Carrie Young, David Leonard, Marvin Mazer, Israel Cohen, Jacob Kirschner, Jack Bernatten, Mary Zeckley, Rachel Cohen, Werner Danhauser, Catherine Meng, Isaac Nadel, Ann Uffland, Aaron Suskin, Samuel Kay, Stephen Mager, Aaron Sowry, Louis Spiegel, David Weiss, Leonard Mann, Celia Budman, Sarah Walensky, Sally Grodsky, Arthur Wilhelm, Leonard Glazo, George Solish, Gus Donner, Kenneth Klein, Louis Budnitsky, Kenneth Klein, Adolph Roth, Norman Tarnov, Eric Mandel, Julius Zeidman, Jacob Francis Ariola Bustamante, Jacob Leibowitz, Joseph Robert Elsner, Max Polanski, Lily Kay, Charles Liebman, Clara Kristen. And if you have another person whose name you'd like to lift up in honor, either hold their name in your heart or speak their name out loud, wherever you are. And I'll ask that anybody who is in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, please rise for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 52. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah,
Amen.
Ba'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olamei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. All right, you may be seated. We have just a moment for a couple of brief but meaningful announcements. Tomorrow morning, it is still Shabbat, and we're going to be celebrating it here at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Wherever you were joining us from, make sure you're on Pacific time with us. And so we'll be doing that. We also, this week, have coming up another holy day already, and that is the very holy day of Yom HaShoah, B'Hagvura, and that is happening on Monday night. It's the 27th of Nisan, known in some circles as the 20th of May. And so Cantor Ruth and I have prepared some resources for you that will probably be coming out in email on Monday.
Correct.
And so this is a time where we would prefer to be getting together in a way to honor those who have passed, to honor the survivors who are still in our midst, and honor the heroes who rebelled at that time as well. we can't do that this year. And so what we've done instead is prepared some resources for you that we've gathered from a bunch of different sources. There are videos of survivors' accounts, including our very own Trudy Strobel, who will have a video of her speaking as well. There's links to different programs and learning things that you could do throughout that day to mark the day. And we're also making available, we have a stock of memorial candles that we will be making available on Monday for picking up outside PJTC at your convenience. So watch your PJTC email for that and for all the other great stuff that we're doing in this congregation. If you haven't started using your email to hear from us, now's a very good time to do that. So with that, we're also going to make Kiddush here in a minute, so stick around, please.
Yes. So with that, we will conclude with a different nigun. For those of you who love the Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, I am not retiring it. It's temporarily unavailable. In the meantime...
It's just taking a vacation.
Yes. In the meantime, let's... I made a conscious decision of trying to bring some new music to renew ourselves, whether it's a closing song or a hallelujah, stay tuned, or other prayers that we just want to learn something new to continue Shabbat in an uplifting spiritual way. So at this point, please rise, and this is a nigun without words. You will know it for sure. Let's join together.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I knew all the words to that one.
You did. That's good. Yes. Brachot.
Waste not, want not.
So why don't we join together? Never a dull moment. ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ, וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי, מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי, מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, ומורה פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית
כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
All right, wherever you are, those who wish to wash, wash as you wish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen. So, Rabbi, this is a moment where you wonder, what is this trying to tell me?
This is the beauty of live streaming services. You never know what's going to happen, so I'm going to say this is in the spirit. As I've said over Pesach again and again, Jews have done more with less. And so in the spirit of not wasting anything, because if we waste not, we want not, I'd like to introduce this evening's bread.
Yes, I think this is trying to tell us.
But we only need one bracha for it today.
Correct. We do, but it should have been challah, which I look forward to tomorrow morning. In the meantime, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.